Okay, I just wanted to take a few minutes to hang out and show you this little app that I'm making because I spent a lot of time on it and I want to show you that it's working and it's pretty cool. It's basically it's for resolving critical hits in combat. Okay, I also have this app working to resolve performance-based fumbles. So as far as like performance skill checks for different instruments, I've got that coded in here. I'm going to show you how I did all of that. All right. I started working on this on Monday. I started tinkering away with it, and I finally got to where I have something to show off. It's not super fancy, but it's a cool little DM tool just for me to have behind the DM screen. This provides full transparency as to, how I'm going to be doing things like critical hits. Now, the way I typically do critical hits, traditionally been the second edition Player's Option Combat and Tactics book. Okay? This has been one of my favorite books for critical hits ever since it was released back in the mid-90s. All right? So the way it works is when somebody rolls a critical hit, I have to reach over to my bookshelf. I have to fumble open the right page. I gotta find the critical hits tables. Where is that? That's page 105 or something like that. All right, and then say this is a bludgeoning attack on a humanoid that we're resolving. So I've got the first table ready. Okay, now I roll a d10. All right, I rolled a 10. So it looks like the hit location is going to be on the head. So then I go over to the head location and I roll accordingly on that chart to find out the results. The higher I roll on that chart, the more the severity. All right. That's kind of a process, right? I'm sitting here breaking out books, rolling on multiple charts. So I wanted to automate all of that. Okay. And I didn't want to reinvent the wheel. I really like this process. I think this is, it's my favorite process for critical hits anyway. So I wanted to create the same exact system, but code it in an app. So when a critical hit is rolled, it's going to automatically roll the hit location and then roll on that location table. So I'll show you what I mean now as far as the app's concerned. There are 3 different scripts for the app, and this right here that I have, this little window moving around, that is the main window. That's consider that like the home page of the app. No big deal. It's real basic. Just says crits and fumbles, right? So this is the code for this little window, for the main window, and the code is pretty straight up. I mean, it just imports some basic stuff that it needs to use for the GUI and subprocess. It goes right into creating the commands. So when like this crit button is clicked or this fumble button is clicked, it launches specific commands, which goes and runs different scripts. So after those functions are created, it goes into creating the window. Like this this little block of code, it's like, okay, we're creating this window. These are the dimensions of the window that I want it to be. I have everything set to dark mode by default, so these are the dark mode settings here. That way it looks cool. All right, and then lastly, it creates the buttons. So we have the buttons created, and then we have the commands created for what to call upon once the buttons are clicked, right? So that's for this little window. And so what happens is, say we're talking crits first, right? So we click the crits button, and then this window is launched, okay? So when that is launched, that is now running a different script. That is now running this script here in conjunction with this critical hit window. So basically, it's pretty straight up, all right? So in the old second edition Player's Option Combat and Tactics book, I used the exact same system and I just coded it over into the app. So, all right, bludgeoning humanoids, right? Say someone rolled a natural 20 using a mace on an orc. So that's bludgeoning humanoids, right? So, okay. Back to the app here, select the target type, humanoid, and then attack type, bludgeoning, and then the big crits button, and then that gives us the result of the critical hit. Gut slash, severe internal trauma, the weapon slices deep into the stomach, causing internal bleeding and shock. So it gives us a lot of extra fluff and flavor. Certain rolls, if you roll really high on the results tables, instant death. So I'll show you how these tables are working. So for instance, humanoid bludgeoning. So in the crits script here, I go through every single type of damage type and target type, every combination, and I have some results all built out. Okay? From insta kills to severed arms to this and that, the next thing. All right? So when, say we're bludgeoning humanoids, right? Then what the program does is when the settings are figured for bludgeoning and humanoid, it rolls randomly to find the location because it first rolls on the hit location chart from the book. And then, say it rolled head, just say, for instance, and then it creates another random number when it goes to the bludgeoning humanoid head function. It rolls a random number 1 through 13. Higher the number, the more severe. And then say it rolls a 13, then that's a cataclysmic skull crush. Triple damage, instant pulverization. The victim's head explodes under the sheer force of the impact, leaving behind nothing but a bloody mess. Okay? So I have all of the results for the different types of attacks and different target types all listed here, all blocked out in different functions, so that can be easily accessed by the rest of the logic that builds out the main algorithm of the script here, which basically I have these critical hit tables. And these tables are connected to the menu systems. So these menu systems here that you see right here in the code. So when I click humanoid, slashing, I configure for humanoid slashing, critical hit, I'm referring to this block of code right here. And then it checks randomly for location. It says, oh, say it comes up with slashing humanoid head, and then the script jumps up here, looks for the slashing humanoid head function, and then pulls a random result from that table. Hopefully an insta kill. So this particular feature of the app has everything programmed in from the second edition Player's Option Combat and Tactics book for critical hits. Okay. And as far as the algorithm is concerned, it's exactly the same. I did spruce up some of the results, like they're not quite as vanilla, so I have better results. All right, but these results from old school are still pretty damn good, but now the results are better in this, when I'm using this app. And what's cool about it is, look, it's a pain in the ass, even with a PDF. Like, if I need to resolve a critical hit, I gotta grab the PDF, turn to the page, get lost in my book, oh shoot, where is that page? Maybe it's late in the evening, got a buzz on, and then I gotta roll 2 dice. Break out the dice tray, roll 2 different dice, 2 different results, and it's taking way too long to do all that. Now, all I have to do is Critz, configure, we're attacking a monster with piercing, that's the type of crit it is. Boom. I hit it in the leg, painful impact. The attack slices the leg, forcing the creature to succeed on a DC 13 Constitution save or suffer a momentary limp on its next turn, and has half movement rate. Okay, so I have all the damage types and all of the creature types that are in that old school player's option right here, coded in. All right, so that's the crits. Now for fumbles, I don't have it fully. I don't have all the features for fumbles yet. I just started working out. Well, there's a request from one of my players that was interested in performance check fumbles, so particularly for instruments. So I built out fumbles for instruments. So the main app window here, you click fumbles, and it brings up this window, and then we select our instrument, say the bagpipes, and this is assuming a natural 1 was rolled, so this is going to give us some flavor for that natural 1. Roll the fumble. So the bagpipes tune is so off key that even your friends must make a wisdom save, or they become extremely embarrassed and want to pretend not to know you. Another bagpipes fumble check. You puff too hard and produce a sound so foul that birds drop from the sky. About failing a singing check. Fumble. Singing fumble. Dragon sneeze. You try to hit a high note when suddenly the sound of a sneeze sounds like a nearby dragon so loud, makes such a sound that your voice is completely drowned out by the keys from the rude audience member. Totally throws off your performance. How about this one? You try to sing a soft, tender ballad, but halfway through, a goblin in the audience starts grumbling and making noise, turning your performance to a duel of chaos. Audience members. Drums. You roll a natural one on your drum check. You step on your own drum and roll away uncontrollably. So, this code for the fumbles, it's if you can understand what I did for the critical hits, this is easier. It's one less step because I don't have to roll location. I don't have to roll hit location. It's just rolling for the random result. Ultimately, So the challenge with this one was with this particular script and getting this part of the app working was really just getting the content together, getting a bunch of original fumble results that are specific to the individual instruments, and I wanted them to be kind of funny, somewhat humorous. So getting all that content together. This script was pretty easy to put together. That's why I wanted to write out the critical hits first and get that working, because I knew once I get that going, if I get that going, then don't skill check. It's gonna be fucking easy. So fumbles, violin fumbles. There you go. Dramatically stomp your foot in passion straight into a musician's pit. So I still got to work on some of these results. I need to go through and do some content editing. But as you see, it all works. So, play an ancient cursed melody, and now the room is haunted by a very irritated ghost. That's a pretty fucking bad fumble check. Loop, fumble. You go to blow a long note, but accidentally take too much air, producing a sudden, unintentional whoosh, like a runaway wind tunnel. The audience. So there you go. It gives you an idea of what I was messing with. I want to build out more features with this app and more little mini modules, more little mini scripts, attach different functions to it so that it has, I don't know, just it's more utilities for me. So I don't have to go to the book or anything. I can just bing, bang, boom, have the stuff resolved right there. What would be nice is if I could make this cross-platform. Right now, I only have it working on Windows, and it would be cool if I had it working on app, like as a website. So I would have to. That might take me a whole nother week of working on that to get that going, because I'd have to convert it, all the Python code, to like 3 different languages. I'd have to convert the code to JavaScript and CSS and rent out a cloud web server and all that. So anyway, I got it working for me. In the meantime, I'll just, I'll roll the crits for you when you need them, or the fumbles or whatever. And when I get more time, another week to fuck around, maybe I could get more features on it and turn it into a web app for everyone to use. We'll see. But for now,